Drive along the turnpike near Linden or Carteret and you'll see it. Smokestacks, refineries, and chemical tanks stretching for miles. The nearby stretch of shoreline along the Arthur Kill is known as New Jersey's Chemical Coast, and its history is one of industry, pollution, and power. It started in the late 1800s when oil companies, chemical plants, and factories realized the marshlands along the water were perfect for business. Close to New York Harbor, with rail lines and shipping channels right there, the Chemical Coast became America's industrial backyard. Standard Oil, Exxon, DuPont, all set up shop. By the mid-20th century, billions of dollars in chemicals, plastics, and fuel were moving through this corridor. But the money came with a cost. The land and water were treated like dumping grounds. Waste was poured into the Arthur Kill. Barrels of toxic sludge were buried in the marshes. Fires, leaks, and explosions became part of daily life. Locals joked that you could tell what color cars would be painted next year by looking at the river's rainbow sheen. One of the worst sights? The Diamond Alkali plant in Newark, which produced Agent Orange for the Vietnam War and left behind one of the most toxic Superfund sites in America. Across the region, dozens of spots are still contaminated decades later. For the people who live nearby, it wasn't a joke. Cancer rates, respiratory problems, and environmental damage scarred communities. Towns like Elizabeth and Linden were known as much for their chemical smell as their neighborhoods. Today, the Chemical Coast still runs. Refineries, tankers, freight trains hauling chemicals night and day. Cleanup projects are underway, but the legacy of a century of pollution can't be erased overnight. In New Jersey, prosperity and poison have always flowed side by side.